Well, hello. You are in for a little treat tonight. Anna, do you like the robe that you got me for your wedding? All right, I promised that I would show Anna what I do when I do my hair. So this is gonna be a 2 or 3 part video series, but you can tell that it's still really wet. I brushed it or combed it while it was super wet, and I even wet it a little bit more after I brushed it. When I got out of the shower, or as I was getting out of the shower, I grabbed it all together like this and squeezed out just a little bit of water at the ends, but tried not to separate the pieces too much. And what I start with is the Pantene Curl Defining Mousse. This one's almost out. I'm hoping you can get a little bit more out of this, but I coat it really well, being pretty gentle on the pieces like this. It's kind of like the praying hands method, but I do it a little bit more like I'm grabbing a ponytail or something, but I suppose you could go like that too. So I put a good bit of mousse on there, and this one's about empty, but I use way more product than you would think makes sense. You'd be surprised how much comes out when you blow dry it and then when you squeeze some of the water out. Okay, I found some more. So I'm gonna put some more on here. Okay. This may have even been a little bit too much since that first squirt was really potent, but I think it's still fine. You can use a ton of product, you'd be surprised. Okay. I mostly do my my length, but I do a little bit towards the top just because it might help with volume to have some crunch up there. And then the next thing I use is the Kinky Curling Custard. And I use a pretty generous amount of this. So there's, I don't know, maybe like 2/4 worth or something. And I do that same thing where I take a section and almost like a ponytail style grip and I run it all the way down. So my hair is pretty wet, and it now also has a lot of product in it. So here's another maybe quarter-sized amount. Do the same thing over here. It's like I'm caressing my snakes. Maybe put a little bit towards the top and on the back. You know, trying not to disturb those long pieces too much. Okay. And I'm gonna wash my hands, and then I'm gonna use my towel to wring out a little bit of the water. Okay. So what I do is I take my towel and I put it below my hair, and then I scrunch it to where I'm trying to keep the shape of the curl. So I squeeze a little bit to try and get the water out. Same deal here. Okay. So I'm definitely not drying it a ton, but it is letting out some liquid because I have low porosity hair, meaning that a lot of product or water doesn't soak into my hair. It kind of lays on the outside. So if I didn't do this, it would take a bazillion years for it to dry. Okay. All right, so I did that a couple times, and then I very carefully move over to the other side, get a dry spot on the towel. Same deal. Good thing I only have to do this like once every 5 days, right? Okay. All right. So now it looks like this. It's, not total clumps, but also not super spread apart. So from this point, I may let it air dry for, 30 minutes or an hour,
or I could go straight to blow drying it with my diffuser, but it would take probably 5 or so more minutes if I just go from here. Plus I think my hair is a little bit heavier if I go straight from here, where it would be a little bit more lightweight and airy if I let it air dry for a while before diffusing. All right, I'll be back with more information.